Hi Gemini, welcome to your January 2019 Tarot and Astrology reading. Happy New Year. If you allow it, Gemini, this is a great time for transformation. Capricorn season, Capricorn energy, a solar eclipse in Capricorn, Capricorn being for you the 8th house, which is about death and transformation, and then a solar eclipse. Something might have to die off. That's not necessarily a literal thing. What I mean is an energy. An idea, a belief may have to die off. Maybe even cords to things which are unhealthy and are not helping your spiritual growth. You picked up on something when I said that, though. You picked up on an intuitive inkling. Something came to mind. What was that? That may be what needs to go. You feel like there's something in the air. You feel like there is something bigger. You know, something that's going to happen to you that could change you a lot. And for air signs, more often than not, it's an idea. It's a theory. It's thinking different. So for you, Gemini, there is something here. And I think it's secretive. 8th house energy is quite secretive. For the High Priestess to be the only card that's popped out, it symbolizes that there is a secret, and it may be yours to keep. Five of Swords, Temperance, 10 of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. It could involve either a Sagittarius or a water sign. Could be a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. They could have some sort of key to this. He's married. See the King of Cups, he has a ring finger on. You probably can't see up close, but the 10 of Pentacles also represents marriage. This could be a literal marriage partner, water sign. Or this could be alerting to you what the person that you need is versus what the old people that you've gone for were. This could represent a new opportunity as well, committed to business. I think you're healing from some sort of deceit. Can also be guilt, but now we're getting somewhere. The cards are starting to flip a bit. Now we're getting somewhere. You feel guilty, or you feel trapped in pain that was created by somebody else's need for winning, need for control, need for dominance. And we think about this. Mars in Aries, Sun in Capricorn, Mercury in Capricorn, those cardinal energies, even Uranus is in Aries and goes direct. Those cardinal energies, leaderships, they're kind of bossy. And yes, you're mutable energy. You're not fixed air like an Aquarius. You're not leading air like a Libra. You are the one that, you're the breeze, Gemini. You're the one that bends in the breeze. Someone has tricked you. Could have been could have been a long-term friend, could have been a long-term companionship, could be family, or you could quite simply be suspicious. These don't necessarily mean that the energy is true. It could just be representing your suspicions. Queen of Pentacles. 8 of Swords. And now we have Earth sign energy. Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. 8 of Pentacles. If you're wondering why I'm reversing these back up, I don't deal in reversals. 3 of Swords. There's the High Priestess again. Ace of Wands, Queen of Wands, and the 6 of Pentacles. Underneath we have the Chariot. So we could have been dealing with a Cancer. There was that Cancer full moon in December. So, there's something, Gemini, I must admit, that doesn't seem quite right about this. It's as if you do maybe let something go along the new moon in Capricorn. Or the lunar eclipse in Leo. Because for you, I think it could be a friendship. It could be somebody that you've been going with for quite a while. Someone that has been around you for quite a while. Quite a long time friendship in childhood, maybe long-term friendships. Or you're feeling betrayed by somebody of that ilk. You feel isolated or not included in their life. Or you feel, on the contrary, trapped in their mind games, in their emotional blackmail, in their lack of self-improvement. You've been waiting for this person to change for a long time, and I don't think they have. And I think you might start to lose a little bit of reasoning with them. Now, sometimes this can represent the inner critic within us, I think, sometimes. The Seven of Swords, you know, the little inner voice inside you which tells you you cannot do something or you cannot have something. And oftentimes, if we're not building something and we don't have evidence of growth, we can start to listen to this little person. So what are your hobbies? What are your projects? What is it that you want to create more of? For some of you, it's fundraising or it's charity work. You're putting your heart into something that makes you feel like you are needed because somebody else is making you feel like you're not. So for many of you, I think you could be hoping for a Queen of Wands person. Could be a Leo, Sagittarius, could be an Aries, or you could just be hoping for somebody who's a bit more active and a bit more warm with their feelings. You know, somebody who's a bit more generous with their attention and their affection. Generous is kind of the word I'm looking for here. Queen of Wands and Six of Pentacles is a very generous energy. And you feel a little bit as if you've been isolated, Gemini. And you're walking away from something or someone. Or some of you are moving home. Some of you are just getting out and getting free because you want to build yourself a more secure future. I think there could have been someone in your past you used to talk to all the time and you're missing them because maybe they moved or maybe they've gone into a new terrain of success and you feel isolated. But if you're hoping for a fire sign, there seems to be a fire sign in the picture here, though I do assume that maybe there's some kind of element to this that is untruthful. Two of Swords and the High Priestess, but you have an inkling about something, Gemini, and you're unwilling to make the move. Yet in your environment, we have two aces. The Star and the Five of Wands. Healthy competition is good. Comparison, though, is the thief of joy. Who are you competing with? And why do you feel like you have to compete with them? For some, it's an earth sign. For some, it's a fire sign. And I think you could be it could be career and money. But I get a lonely vibe, and it's because you are seeing people as competitors rather than friends. I do think, Gemini, you're moving forward with something and something gets eclipsed out. I think you are possibly eclipsing out a Leo or a Taurus. But, it's not necessarily so. When someone shows you who they are, listen to them. Believe what you see when someone really shows you who they are. Because as an air sign, you enjoy words, you enjoy communication, but you read between the lines too. You enjoy the back and forth because it's very telling. But it's not always as telling as what somebody actually does, what action they take. Could you be dealing with somebody who's looking to the past? Or are you suspicious of somebody who is on their phone a lot or thinking so much and you're feeling a little bit shut out? Now, it doesn't necessarily always mean that third-party situation isn't a person. I actually think the Three of Swords most commonly represents inner hurt and inner turmoil surrounding another person and where they're putting their energies. It doesn't necessarily mean another person that they're putting their energies to. It actually can mean that they're putting so much time into their career that you feel jealous and you don't feel as accomplished. If you're dealing with an earth sign, they are going through it at the moment with the eclipse energy. Solar eclipse in Capricorn is making the earth signs uncomfortable. in their ambitions. They're not as excited about the new year as a lot of people are. And I think for you, you're picking up on somebody else's stuff and you need to be giving more attention to your hopes and dreams. What is it that you truly want? What is it that would make you feel successful? Do you have a picture of that? Because if you don't have a picture of that, then you feel very, very alone. And if you know what you don't want, what's the opposite of that? Because that may be your answer. Knowing what you don't want can actually lead to success if it gives you the answer of what you do want. Justice. Maybe you want justice. Maybe you want something balanced. You want something fair, and you feel like someone's holding back from you. And that is because somebody is. Somebody's either holding back information, holding back affection, or holding back attention in general, and you feel rejected by this person. It can go both ways, though. You may have rejected an earth sign or a Libra, for example, and you maybe regret it, but for a lot of you it's a water sign too in the past. So everyone's got somebody different. That makes sense. But with this Queen of Cups, around the Cancer full moon, what direction did you decide to take? What is it that you want to achieve? When we see eights, we think of a lack of or an abundance of movement. And the sixes are more about the direction that we actually go, really. So what way are you going? Because this lady is looking to the future. If you're thinking about a water sign, you're knowing what you learned from them and you want to move forward. Pay attention to your dreams. People are having really messed up dreams after the Cancer full moon, right up until the lunar eclipse in Leo. Just an FYI. You may have people come to you in your dream. You may have narcissists come to you in a dream, egomaniacs. Okay. There's a pretty defensive fire sign, I must say. Ooh, King of Swords. Let him up. Ah, the Fool. What goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up. So basically, you're going up. Isn't that good? You're going up. Seven of Wands and the Three of Swords. You're easily hurt, or you're dealing with somebody who's easily hurt. Somebody who is thinking through the ego and not the heart. It's a big point for most signs this month, is thinking with the heart and not the ego. Because when the seven of Wands and the Three of Swords come up with a person, I feel like you could be dealing with someone who's been very badly burned before, or who has burned you before. Someone who is sensitive to criticism, somebody who is sensitive to what it is that you say. Now, during Sagittarius season, they may have been more blunt. So this could have been somebody commenting, as the King of Wands can represent Sagittarius, and Temperance came up. It could be somebody who said something particularly hurtful during your partnership era in Sagittarius. Could have been a loved one. Somebody who said something you just can't quite get over, and you don't feel like they're helping. Because during eclipse season, nobody really knows what end is up with them, right? And it can lead to conflict. And it's interesting though, because although you feel in an essence out in the cold with somebody, and you feel like there's a cold wind blowing in the direction of the person with whom you want to communicate or whom you want to talk to, the two aces mean there is actually a good chance of a fresh start for a partnership that has been out in the cold. But it's a double-edged sword, so communication means a lot more in January. A lot of the signs have come out of what may have felt like a war zone. How you're viewing yourself, though, you know your intuition is spot on, but you're trying to block it with reason. You're trying to rationalize something that seems off, instead of just trusting that it seems off. However, you don't like feeling out of control, so you're not questioning it. You're trying to rationalize it because you are afraid of getting hurt, or you're afraid of getting your ego dented. What the star tells me is that the more that you give in January, Gemini, the more that you give, the more you get. But it may require you to give a little bit more of what it is that you think you need from somebody else to yourself. With the Star, it's all about feeling hopeful. And with the Fool, it's hope to a new journey as well aspected. So if you're beginning something new in January, it's well aspected. It's going to be something positive. And that can quite simply mean it's going to be a positive year. But you still have to put in the effort, and you still have to give a little bit more than you would like to. And sometimes giving to those who don't have as much is the only answer when the Six of Pentacles comes up. Or you can expect, if you're feeling down and out, you can expect that there will be people who want to help you. Maybe Aquarians. Your fellow air signs will be your friends. You're not touched as much by this solar eclipse in Capricorn emotionally as everybody else, which is why you're suspicious. You're kind of wondering what they're up to. And they are up to something. It just doesn't necessarily have to be what everyone assumes in tarot. You know what I mean? Everyone assumes the affair or something. I think you're feeling more suspicious of somebody's intentions or why they're being so touchy. Because the people around you will be touchy, especially if they're a Leo or an Earth sign. But consider yourself if you're feeling very easily hurt by other people's words and actions. Consider if you feel like everything that they say is getting in. A ship can't sink unless the water gets in. What kind of things are you trying to block out? And are they really as bad as you think they are, or are they trying to be helpful? Because I feel like somebody could potentially be trying to give you advice to protect you. And it could be a fire sign. But as I say, with the Three of Swords, I feel that can go either way. I do think there could be somebody in your life trying to protect you, and you feel like it's trying to harm you. And because your perception of what everybody else's intentions are is skewed, but you're suspicious and you're trying to reason them out in other ways, you're going to be confused. The Fool and the Hanged Man asks us to look at things through fresh eyes and from a different perspective. And spirituality is not intended to be fluffy. It's not intended to be all rainbows and positive thinking will get positive results all the time, because there's still other stuff that you have to work through. I'm just saying, with the Star and the Fool, the more optimistic and upbeat you can be, and the more you give, the closer you are to the answer. Because the answer, if you are just going on an ego trip, will haunt you in your dreams. If you try to block it out by false bravado, riding on the high horse and sort of judging, you try and block it out that way, it's going to come up in your dreams and your sleep's going to be disrupted and you're going to feel very the opposite of refreshed. Whether it's the Fool and the Star means you can look at it from an optimistic, the universe is looking after me perspective. The answer will come to you quicker. I'm going to clarify what the Fool means as an answer, Gemini, though, because even if you're in the darkness, the Magician. Yeah, the Magician. And death is underneath, actually. Death is important because of the 8th house energy. Something may have to end. And it doesn't mean someone's going to leave your life forever or anything like that. It's just, it seems to me with death and the Magician, you've maybe been stunting yourself creatively. Or you've maybe been... You're in the need of fresh energy. It's like in the Aquarius reading, I was talking about fresh air. So it's sort of what you need. Something does need to be let go of. And I don't know if it's a belief or it's a way of doing things. Maybe it is a relationship. Maybe it's an old time friendship. Or maybe it's just holding on to an ex. Something is going to be eclipsed out and it's going to leave you with more room to maneuver what it is that you truly want. And you want to be a boss. You want to be in charge of your empire. You want to be building something for yourself that you can look back on. You want a legacy of some sort. You want to create something that lasts for a long time. You will, you will, you will, you will. It's just that you seem to be feeling a bit misguided at the beginning of the month because everyone else is running around totally in the dark with the eclipse, the new moon and the eclipse. You can feel very, very in the dark, especially if it is affecting your sign. And as I say, your sign and it was you and Pisces, I felt, were the best at manifesting under this time. But if you worry about what other people are doing, I think you may be doing yourself a disservice in that area, like in manifesting. So we have Mary Magdalene, unconditional love. Love yourself and others in every situation, no matter what the outward appearance may be. Yes, see, you're suspicious. And Dana, the High Priestess, has come out again. You have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. So other people may actually need your help, Gemini. And that Six of Pentacles could reveal you helping. With Vesta, your household situation is improving through a move or healthy change in the occupants. Now just remember that your soul is a home. So who you're letting in and out of your heart and your soul, there may be somebody that moves. Just an FYI. And it can actually just be a physical move. You know, they could move away, but for some reason, something within you kind of gets freed up under this solar eclipse, I feel. I'm going to do a universe guidance card. I don't know why I suddenly sounded like I was from the old country, but we'll see. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. I always trust the direction of the universe and know that I'm being guided. I think it's going to work out better than you expected, Gemini. So if you're in a sort of funny period, just bear in mind that shifts during eclipse season, yes, it's a strange, dark time, but it's actually very powerful. And what you focus on under the eclipse energy is going to manifest quicker, especially if it's new. If it's something that you don't have much resistance to, it'll be quicker. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, Gemini. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next readings. Bye.